gonna stop. To the top, to the top. Ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Fly high, or will I fall? Legends made when faith is strong. No time to bleed. I'm conquering. Push through the pain and run for the prize. Some people wanna turn and run, but the strong rise under the gun. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Every day I fight to be Wings are made to fly, made to fly. Fears are born to die, born to die. Pushing through the pain, through the pain. Pushing through, breaking through, whatever it takes, what I gotta do. Giving my all, giving all that I got. Never will stop till I get to the top. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day
smell what The Rock is cooking. The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules in your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I taste blood that's drying, I feel tension rising. I hear voices.
Hello and welcome to the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Mr. Rock Jones and
Sean Randy Smith, as we bring you our reactions and the news from this past week's draft.
the WWE attempted another draft to just try and fail at miserably every year. On the October 9th episode of SmackDown and October 12th episode of Raw.
We're going to start off with night one of the draft
Well,
on SmackDown.
I suppose we should go through the rules first.
Yes, go ahead.
So, over 60 male and female wrestlers, as well as tag teams and stables, including all the current champions, were placed into pools. 20 being eligible to be drafted on SmackDown, and more than 30 eligible to be drafted on Raw. Due to SmackDown being a 2-hour show and Raw being a 3-hour show, for every 2 picks that SmackDown gets, Raw gets 3.
Yes.
A tag team counts as 1 pick unless, and this is where it gets a little bit iffy, Fox or USA say they only want 1 member of a group, which is basically WWE just saying we want to separate the team.
Pretty much. So we'll start off.
Any undrafted
Yes.
wrestler will be classed as a free agent and will be able to sign to either brand, which again is WWE just saying, stay there until we decide what to do with you.
Pretty much.
So, night 1 got underway on October 9th, last week's episode of SmackDown, with each draft pick being announced by the Chief Brand Officer of the WWE, our very own Miss Stephanie McMahon.
Yes, she announced that staying on Monday Night Raw and the very first pick of night 1 of the draft would be the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre would stay on Raw.
Which of course meant that SmackDown would draft its Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman versus them staying on SmackDown.
Staying on Raw is the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka.
But here comes the first move, as the Monday Night Messiah switches from being a savior of Monday nights to the SmackDown savior.
Yes, and now I can officially call him this. He is not a star, he's a very naughty boy of Friday nights.
The Hurt Business stayed together on Monday Night Raw, including the United States Champion Lashley.
Moving from SmackDown to Raw is AJ Styles.
Which is just weird because it was only a few months ago that Styles got moved from Raw to SmackDown.
Pretty much, bit of a WTF moment there, but hey ho.
Staying on SmackDown is Bayley's friend turned enemy. She will compete inside Hell in a Cell next week. It's Sasha Banks.
Indeed, she remains on SmackDown. Now, moving from SmackDown to Raw, it's time for Raw to feel the glow of Naomi.
Moving from Raw to SmackDown is the STD of the WWE. It's Bianca Belair.
Bit of an interesting one considering she's not long been called up to Raw, but okay. Staying on Raw, but then again, this doesn't make sense anyway because they compete on any brand anyway.
Well,
But once they lose the titles, staying on Raw will be Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler,
yes.
the women's tag team champions. But at the moment, that doesn't kind of apply.
Yes,
at the moment.
as the women's tag team champions, they can compete around all three brands of the WWE, but once they lose the titles, they stay on Raw. Also staying on Raw, the one and only Ricochet, who this past week pulled a Eddie Guerrero.
Yes, shout out to Ricochet for that one. Staying on SmackDown is Jey Uso.
Before he gets murdered next week.
Again, yes, pretty much the obvious.
Staying on Monday Night Raw, Mandy Rose.
And moving from Raw to SmackDown is Rey and Dominic Mysterio, which probably indicates to us that the storyline between the Mysterios and Rollins is far from over and is going to continue on SmackDown.
Yes, but Rey returns to a brand which he helped make famous.
Yes.
Then the next two, well, one of the next two draft picks was an interesting one.
Oh, yes.
The first, the tag team of The Miz and John Morrison moved from SmackDown to Raw. Then things got a little bit interesting because earlier on in the show, Big E defeated Sheamus in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Then backstage we saw Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston reunite. Xavier Woods having been cleared to return to England competition. And they were granted a last-minute SmackDown Tag Team Championship match.
And we do literally mean last minute.
So they go out there to face Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura and win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Then
their celebration was promptly cut short.
yes, because Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the members of the New Day who actually competed in the match, were drafted to Raw, whilst Big E, on his own, remains on SmackDown.
Splitting up the New Day.
Staying on Raw with her new tag team partner is Dana Brooke.
Staying on SmackDown is Mr. Money in the Bank, Otis.
And the last televised pick was Angel Garza staying on Monday Night Raw.
Once he's medically cleared.
But then, on the episode of Talking Smack, there were a few more picks done.
There was.
Staying on Raw is Humberto Carrero.
Going from Raw to SmackDown is former disciple of Seth Rollins, Murphy.
So they're literally shifting their entire storyline from Raw to SmackDown.
Pretty much.
Drew Gulak goes from SmackDown to Raw and will probably be after 24/7 champion R-Truth.
Kalisto remains on SmackDown.
By himself, we should count as well, not with the rest of the Lucha House Party. And splitting up another tag team, Tucker from Heavy Machinery and Otis's tag team partner is drafted by himself to Raw.
Again, splitting up the Heavy Machinery and the Lucha House Party are split up as well.
So to run through those again, on night 1, WWE Champion Drew McIntyre will be on Raw.
Roman Reigns would remain on SmackDown.
Raw Women's Champion Asuka remains on Raw.
Going from Raw to SmackDown he's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy, Seth Rollins.
The Hurt Business will stay on Raw.
AJ Styles moves from SmackDown to Raw.
Sasha Banks stays on SmackDown.
Naomi moves from SmackDown to Raw.
Bianca Belair will move from Raw to SmackDown.
Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler remain on Raw but will still compete across all three brands.
As long as they hold the women's tag team titles. Ricochet will stay on Raw.
Jey Uso stays on SmackDown.
Mandy Rose stays on Raw.
Rey and Dominic Mysterio move from Raw to SmackDown.
The Miz and John Morrison move from SmackDown to Raw.
Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods move from SmackDown to Raw like Miz and Morrison.
Big E remains on SmackDown.
Dana Brooke stays on Raw.
Otis stays on SmackDown.
Angel Garza stays on Raw.
Humberto Carrero stays on Raw.
Murphy moves from Raw to SmackDown.
Drew Gulak moves from SmackDown to Raw.
Kalisto remains on SmackDown.
And Tucker moves from SmackDown to Raw.
Moving on to Night 2 on the October 12th edition of Monday Night Raw.
Moving from SmackDown to Raw.
Let him in.
The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. I was about to do that.
Rats. Okay, you can do it next time round. Remaining on SmackDown is the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley.
Who the day before was officially champion for 1 year.
Officially, yes.
Randy Orton stays on Monday Night Raw.
I'm not going anywhere.
Here is going to take a little bit of explaining.
Yes, as the Street Profits are moving from Raw to SmackDown.
But the Street Profits are the Raw Tag Team Champions. So you have the SmackDown Tag Team Champions going to Raw, and the Raw Tag Team Champions going to SmackDown. So, what do we do here?
Simple.
The titles were literally handed over. So, the New Day are not the SmackDown Tag Team Champions anymore. They're now the Raw Tag Team Champions.
While the Street Profits were the Raw Tag Team Champions, have now become the SmackDown Tag Team Champions and becoming Triple Crown Champions.
Only the second team, third, to have held NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. No, second team, yes, behind the Revival.
FTR copyright.
We're allowed to say the Revival.
Oh yes, the revival, of course. Yes.
Staying on
Big number
Monday,
said that. Bleep that.
staying on Monday Night Raw, when she returns, the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
Now this next pick is interesting. Moving from SmackDown to Raw, former Universal Champion Braun Strowman.
Who will be looking to bask in his glory. So,
That's it. Yes, at the time of this recording, Braun Strowman will have a Universal Championship match against Roman Reigns.
and is having a match with Keith Lee on Raw as well.
Yes.
Staying on SmackDown when he decides to return will be the leader of the Yes Movement, Daniel Bryan.
Moving from SmackDown to Raw is the original bro, Matt Riddle.
Moving from Raw to SmackDown, KO, Kevin Owens.
Moving from SmackDown to Raw, former Intercontinental Champion Jeff Hardy.
Staying on Raw, although I don't know why, is a group known as Retribution.
Retribution of Mustafa Ali, T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack, and Reckoning.
And after making a return to night one, on the night one episode of the draft, and laying out Matt Hardy, Miz Morrison, and Riddle, Lars Sullivan was placed into the pool for night two and will stay on SmackDown.
As a free agent, but he remains on SmackDown. Raw will continue to bask in his glory of Keith Lee.
King Corbin will remain to rule over SmackDown.
God help SmackDown. Removing from SmackDown to Raw is the Fiend's newest, well, what do we call it? A manager at the moment, or tag team member.
Sister Abigail. Let's just call her Sister Abigail.
Yes, Alexa Bliss moves from SmackDown to Raw to join the Fiend.
Moving from SmackDown to Raw is the return of WWE stands for Walk with Elias.
Staying on SmackDown is the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn.
Moving from SmackDown to Raw, the sassy Seven Bell, Lacey Evans.
Remaining on SmackDown are the former SmackDown Tag Team Champions Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Moving from SmackDown to Raw, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus.
Also moving from SmackDown to Raw is the Twisted Sister Nikki Cross.
Moving from Raw to SmackDown is a tag team of Dolph Ziggler and the glorious Robert Roode.
Staying on Raw is the 42-time 24/7 champion R-Truth.
Moving from Raw to SmackDown, former United States champion Apollo Crews.
Moving to Raw as a free agent courtesy of Raw Underground is Dabba-Kato, otherwise known as Babatunde.
Raw will be Titus Worldwide.
Titus World Slide stays on Raw.
Staying on SmackDown, she was right to be untouchable Carmella.
Staying on Raw is Peyton Royce.
Going from Raw to SmackDown, Aleister Black.
And staying on Raw is Akira Tozawa in the last of the televised picks for night 2.
Then on Raw Talk, Lana was revealed to be staying on Raw after successfully earning a Raw Women's Championship match. Good luck
Not
there.
like she's going to win it.
Going from Raw to SmackDown is her, what you can call, former-ish tag team partner, Natalya.
Staying on Raw is Riddick Moss.
Moving from Raw to SmackDown, the tag team of the Riot Squad in Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan.
And moving from NXT to Monday Night Raw, basically a call-up, Arturo Ruas.
So let's go for Night 2 again.
Yes.
Raw will let him in with the Fiend, Wwe Riott.
Bayley remains on SmackDown as the SmackDown Women's Champion.
Randy Orton remains on Monday Night Raw.
The Street Profits, when they were Raw Tag Team Champions, have moved to SmackDown and became the SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Charlotte, when she comes back, remains on Raw.
Braun Strowman moves from SmackDown to Raw.
Daniel Bryan will remain on SmackDown.
The original Bro, Matt Riddle, will move from SmackDown to Raw.
Kevin Owens will move from Raw to SmackDown.
Jeff Hardy will move from SmackDown to Raw.
Retribution will continue to disappoint on Raw.
Lars Sullivan remains on SmackDown.
Raw will continue to bask in the glory of Keith Lee.
King Corbin will rule over SmackDown. God help SmackDown.
Sister Alexa Bliss goes from SmackDown to Raw.
WWE stands for Walk with Elias will move from SmackDown to Raw.
Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn remains on SmackDown.
Moving from SmackDown to Raw is the sassy Southern Belle, Lacey Evans.
Staying on SmackDown, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Also moving from SmackDown to Raw is the Celtic Warrior Sheamus.
Also moving from SmackDown to Raw, Nikki Cross.
Moving from Raw to SmackDown, the tag team of Dolph Ziggler and Glorious Robert Roode.
Staying on Raw is the 42-time 24/7 champion R-Truth.
Moving from Raw to SmackDown is Apollo Crews.
Free agent Babacato
Otherwise known as Babatunde.
will go to Raw.
Raw will Taz and Hill will stay with Raw.
Carmella will stay on SmackDown.
Peyton Royce will stay on Raw.
Aleister Black will go to SmackDown.
And Akira Tozawa will remain on Raw.
Also, Lana will stay on Raw.
Yes. Natalya will go from Raw to SmackDown.
Riddick Moss will stay on Raw.
Going from Raw to SmackDown is the Riot Squad of Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan.
And in an NXT call-up, Arturo Ruas goes to Raw. That left quite a few free agents.
Yes.
And a few of those have been placed.
They have.
Starting with Retaliation, who is a former member of Retribution, or normally known by Mercedes Martinez, who is supposedly going back to NXT.
Staying on SmackDown will be Shorty G.
Lucha House Party will go from SmackDown to Raw.
Of Grand Metalik and Lindsay Dorado.
Billy Kay goes from Raw to SmackDown.
Eric will remain on Raw.
Tamina will remain on SmackDown.
Moving from Raw to SmackDown is Selena Vega.
Undrafted, we have Andrade,
Becky Lynch, inactive due to maternity leave.
Big Show, who only makes sporadic appearances these days.
The Big Show.
I did.
Bo Dallas hasn't been seen since November the 19th.
The Forgotten Sons, appropriately named at the moment.
Yes. Inactive due to neck injury, Ivar.
Inactive due to knee injury, Jimmy Uso.
Inactive due to knee injury again, Jinder Mahal.
Inactive due to serving as mayor of Knox County, Kane.
It last appeared on the December 19th edition of SmackDown, Maurice.
Mickey James, who broke the nose.
Yes, and Mojo Rawley, who last appeared on the June 19th, 2020 edition of SmackDown.
So that is the 2020 WWE Draft. A few interesting moves there.
Yes, put the word on interesting.
Could create a few things with opportunities for the Fiend. Separating Big E from the New Day, we kind of suspected that might happen when they started to give Big E a push.
Yes.
But overall, I hate to say it, we know that these drafts mean nothing because it's only a matter of time before Stephanie McMahon or Vince McMahon comes out to the limb with some ridiculous wildcard rule.
Pretty much. So join us next time as WWE takes a trip to hell.
In a cell.
So until then, he's been
With Rock Jones.
and I've been Sean Randy Smith, and we will see you next week for Hell in a Cell. What was your funny moments in that show, actually?